Yo, what's up, guys? Um, got Switcheroo and Pharaohs for now. One of the many games that will be starting today, and it's quite an exciting match. Switcheroo number 4 overall. Pharaohs slightly a fall from grace, number 31 overall. 31st best team, or the second worst, depending how you look at it. And we'll be getting started pretty shortly. There's still one member yet to join the table, or rather the room. And in the meantime, I guess we can take a look at who's gonna be playing today. We got Uno, Amayami, Misaka, Sarimaka, C, and Act. And on the other side of the Pharaohs, you got Skillshot, Swag, Humble, also used to be known as Medina, Yusef, and the one and only Victor Lee. In the top left hand side, you got not just the Reckoner and RD as per usual, but also the global standing. So pretty much you know, how they are currently positioned within the Timor's global standing. In the meantime, Uno joined the room, so let's see what's up. Seemingly we got a mirror to start off, just by the characters alone. Also by the card count alone, 24 cards for each. Yusef, however, starting first. And passing on just one back row. And just like that, MST, it was a book. Not anymore. Let's see, Uno going second, so he's got more chances to try to start his engine up. And he did set one. Some players like to set their cards first before their start summoning, but it's not gonna be the case. Uno as well, setting one. Let's see if Yusef has the response of, also MSTing the set. And let's also see if the set will be a book. But Yusef manages to grab a Blue Rose Dragon just in time to start up his engine. Keep in mind, ballast is applied. New version, as you can see by the extra monster zones, are also applied. So speaking of, I should probably update my title. Gotta reflect that we got these new changes. Basil Rose to be activated. It did add Rocks Rose in case you missed it. Rocks Rose gonna be grabbing. I mean, it's very likely to be Basil once again. But many possibilities to think about what should be grabbed. There's also, for example, the Ruddy Rose Witch, which is not gonna come in handy all that much right now, considering like there's no White Rose Dragon on the field, so no milling of Carrot. It is gonna be the Basil. What's up, Smelg? HeyZZy, the one to be summoned. At least that's very likely to be 2600 worth of damage guaranteed. And it is just that. I'm very curious because like these players have said just one and kept a lot of cards in their hand. I'm just hoping, you know, for the players to not have started with like their carry, their Ruddy Rose Witch. It's something. So what do we got on the side of Uno? He wasn't able to get his engine going on his first turn, but maybe just like Yusuf, top decking into a Rose Dragon or a card similar. There you go. Top deck Rox Rose. Adding the second Rox Rose as well. And subsequently summoning. On the leftmost zone, we got a manual player there. Don't know if I can show it. Actually, yeah, I can. So card position. All cards will be placed automatically, just like we have been used to so far in these 5+ years of Duel Links. Manual 1, where you get to select the monster placement, but the spell and trap is placed automatically. And Manual 2, where you get to choose whatever. And since I play Metal Pose and stuff, Manual 2 is a little more useful for me. But it shouldn't make a difference all that much. Not now, since we don't have a lot of column-related spells or traps. But in the meantime, the Rox Rose has added the Basil Rose Shoot, subsequently set it, and, well, 3 back row in total. Basil to be activated as well from the side of Yusuf. Not a whole lot of targets to search, but if he wants to get his second skill activation going, he can go for a Blue Rose search, which he will. Question is, what do you really summon here? Well, I guess the Blue Rose is a fine one. No plant type currently in the grave, so... And HeyZZy, interestingly, hasn't activated its effect before Yusuf has done his plays. Burst Breath. If you aren't familiar with this card, you basically tribute Rox Rose and then you destroy any monster on your opponent's side of the field whose defense is less than 1600. So Rox Rose's attack 1600, that's a 1600 defense or lower monster destroyed. Not HeyZZy, but Blue and Rox. Uno gets to live because he did have the Basil Rose Shoot. It's a pretty good way to get your own Rox Rose in the grave with Burst Breath. You not only get rid of your opponent's attempt to set up, but also you get the search, you get basically what you want in this kind of deck. Uno as well, retrieving the initial Rox Rose. And there's still one more set card, which probably would not be able to deal with the HeyZZy, but... There you go, second skill activation for Uno. Likely fishing for that white Rose Dragon. We know that he does have white and rocks in hand. White Rose coming up. And well, this is a pretty free Synchro Summon here, but it's what you do next from it that really matters. White Rose from hand, that's the second one. Well, I guess it no longer matters because you just go for the Trishula 0. In the extra monster zone as well. It's gonna be able to banish the HeyZZy. And, well, milling carrot here. Surely he's got something else as a follow-up, which is the Ruddy Rose Witch in hand. Although Diddy Crow will be saying no to that carrot. Is this gonna be the start of the battle phase? Yes, it will. So Yusuf gets to live one more turn at the very least. Unless the MST get rid of the base. Oh my god. That's a sick way to lethal, but what if Yusuf has a second one? No, he does not have a second crow. That's gonna be game for Uno in quite the stylish fashion, as expected from someone of his caliber. Speaking of someone of his caliber, I would actually show a graphic, but I have not added it. So I need to kind of add it. Where are you? There. Alright, here we go. This is the graphic I was talking about. It is pretty much Switcheroo up in the KCC top 10. A lot of great players, and Uno demonstrates that to us. So let's see about the second game, which is not a repeat because it was not announced. It's not uncommon for people, as we have seen plenty and plenty of times before, to be playing a double Rose Dragon pair. And seemingly it is the case as well here. White Rose Dragon is gonna get rid of that ugly brick of carrot, and ending on HeyZZy is exactly what you want in the extra monster zone. Yusuf as well, gonna be activating his skill. What's he gonna drop though? It's gonna be the Blue Rose. So far, no side of White Rose Dragon. He also added that stuff on the top, so which is effect guaranteed at this point. Drawing to the Rose Fairy. Rose Fairy is gonna special summon herself. That's a level 7 Synchro. Let's see if Uno will permit it though, because he does have 2 sets. There's the Book of Moon. He's gonna get rid of the non-tuner Rose Fairy. Anything else that is gonna emerge out of Yusuf's turn? Currently not looking very bright for him. Not at all. Well, that's just gonna be it. The 2 sets. More or less nothing. The second Basil to be activated immediately. Likely gonna try to go for that Black Rose Dragon wipeout. There you go, there it is. In defense, playing around, what was it? There's that one card that negates monster effects of attack position monsters, and I guess that's kind of one of the cards he could have been playing around. It's not gonna be the case. We have Book, we have Basil, and we also have the Crow from the side of Uno, which just makes it be the wide open board. Not a whole lot that Yusef can do at this point. Unless he's got a Crow of his own, but nothing. Zeta coming up. Guess it doesn't really matter at this point which one you go for. But Zeta does have the best precautionary effects to it, and that's just it. Uno takes the second game as well from this Battle of the Stutters. And well, Pharaohs starting on the back foot. Quite a few decks still remaining though. It is only just the beginning. 4 players remaining. Lots of choices going into this new meta, since teams maybe haven't had the most inspiration or even time to test stuff for Team Wars. But let's see who's gonna emerge out of this this week victoriously, because this week is pretty much gonna be the precedent for weeks 9 and 10. Disregarding the new world release of Reigns. So let's see who joined the room. It's gonna be Swag as the next player. There we go. We are started. Flag up on top. Uno now on the bottom. We do see Aporia. Obviously, MechLords. Mana analysis has proved that MechLords are just a bit more favored than Rose Dragon, but that's just depending on the text of the Rose Dragon, because MechLord, even though they do have that skill, it's still 30 cards at the end of the day. It's obviously to minimize drawing to the armies, but you need to have the right back row to supplement. Uno dropping the Witch for the rocks. At least that's a start. Perhaps not the best one, but it is a start. Obligado though. You do be deploying those armies. We do have Granel and Skill. Uno. Anything on your side to attempt to minimize. Alright, there's the Burst Breath. Interesting. It will be getting rid of the 2 monsters. Swag activating nothing. And let's see just how many sets Swag will set. We know his other set is very likely to be the Basil. Oh, there's Trisk. So Swag hard started with both Obligato and Trisk. Uno is basically now forced to activate that Basil Rose shoot. And Triskelion will also get rid of one important monster in the extra deck for Uno. Let's see which one. 2 back row to be set. Heading straight for the battle phase. Trisk effect. Swag currently making a list of what's inside Uno's extra deck. And here we go, finally. Rockstar Dragon coming up. Switcheroo 0 to be stolen. Now Uno has to face the 5700 attack Trisk in addition to the 2 back row, and let's just see how that goes, because I don't know. One book, rest in peace. Now he's gonna have to be playing through that back row. Other one. Now we're summoning the carrot. That's not a good sight to see. But depending on what Swag has or hasn't, we can very well just see the Synchro Summon go through. It's gonna go through, and Black Rose will be summoned up on the field. Pulse Mines. Alright. So no follow-up, says Swag. It is kind of interesting though, because, well, I guess Uno has the White Rose for the next turn. But Swag now has 2 cards to work with. But does he have the skill activation? He did top into a back row, and he had a second back row as well, so no follow-up on his side, while Uno has all the follow-up he needs. White Rose coming up with the rocks. Very much so popular though. We do have Basil being searched here. Welcome everyone that is coming from Rookies MBZ. Canada is gonna deny that Rocks Rose, so no Synchro Summon for now. White Rose. Thank you for the follow, Shadow. Oh, hello, Vista. Currently, Uno in the lead for Switcheroo. Thank you for a follow. Ooh, 0. Oof. HeyZZy coming up. That's a non-target of 2600, and we also got Basil once again coming up. Thank you for the follow, Ushia's God. Blue Rose to be summoned, and that's gonna warrant another response as far as back row from Swag, because, well, 2600, that's something, but he needs to get something else out. Any trap can work, because you can revive Canaria. MST, hopefully for the info. Burst Breath, that is the second Burst Breath. Keep in mind you can get 2 if you are smart, unlike me. But Swag will be losing this game. Sadly hasn't got a follow-up after that initial turn of events. And we will be having a repeat coming up for Pharaohs as well. So Mech Lords versus Rose Dragon, take number 2. Let's check it out. Swag and Pharaohs looking to turn around the results. Oh no, that call. To begin, here are the facts. Switcheroo is 6-1 right now. They're not the same team as before, and they will never be again. We will put them out of their misery this week. And I will retire many of their players this week as well. I will show no mercy in the process. They're like, I cannot read this sentence. Each time I read this code, I cannot read this sentence out loud without laughing. They're like the yeller's dogs in my phone. And I will take out my shotgun and end them one by one. And I want you all to join me in this massacre as well. The goated copypasta from Victor Lee, back like 2 or 3 seasons ago, when Pharaohs had to face Bricks and Potatoes. Or was it Divine? I don't even know. But what we do know is that we have the Weasel up on the field, or Wizel rather, with the Gear Gigan X Search. It's gonna be the second Obligado to come out. Two sets as well, that's something. Minus 50. A whole lot of damage there being dealt to Uno. Let's see. Spell Roses. Since the Witch of the Black Rose, you're not around earlier, guys, we have seen a lot more Witch of the Black Rose, both from the side of Yusef, who started for Pharaohs with a double Rose Dragon, as well as from Uno. It's interesting that, well, cannot really revive. I mean, you wouldn't want to revive it either way, because it's a tuner level 4, not a non-tuner level 4. But Basil cannot target Black Rose Witch. And there's also that line, this card cannot be special summoned. So there's also that. Will this Singer Summon be allowed? Flag, you have revealed to us Book of Moon before, and gonna be the case once again. Book onto the White Rose. Will it go through? It will. Something to note is that we have seen Burst Rebirth in almost every single game so far from the side of Uno. And HeyZZy does have a lot more defense. But seemingly it's not gonna be the case, because Rockstars will just suicide into the Gear Gigant. This can be due to the Triskelion being able to just swing into the Rockstars. Storm will now force Uno to do something. Destroys the Neo ceiling as well as the assembly, targets the leftmost and the rightmost card. It's gonna be an Nemesis destroyed, which I guess that's a very good hit for Uno. And Basil as well. Another pretty good hit for Uno. I'm curious to see what the last spell or trap can be, but there's HeyZZy on the field, so likely we're not gonna be seeing that anytime soon. Very good opener so far from Swag. We know he's got an Obligato in hand. This could mean the game ender. Second skill can fish out for Triskelion. Stands the HeyZZy that he just top decked, or I guess had in his hand. Likely gonna get that Triskelion very soon. Plenty of fodder in the grave, plenty of armies. No more Synchro Absorption, but at this point, I guess you don't really care about that. He's taking his time. We do have assembly coming up. Finally gets to add the Trisk. And now there's an unstoppable onslaught of attacks, and by the looks of it, as long as this card is a spell, it's gonna be looking very rough. Triskelion does have 0 defense, so Swag, let's see if he takes the gamble, but very smartly summons Obligato. If he has something like, I don't know, Iron Wolf can definitely help here. The rank 4 that allows any machine to attack directly. If only that HeyZZy, or wait. Could this have been game if Swag actually kept HeyZZy and dropped Obligato in order to pierce with Triskelion? Obligato burn once again. That's 200 in total. Unable to burn for 200 because there is like no Mech Lord extra deck monster. That will go against their philosophy. Here to wait to be summoned, and Black Rose as well coming up. I'm assuming the other set is another Basil, which it is. Basil summoned with Carrot already in the grave. There's oh, actually he summoned the Rockstars, which is also very fine because he can just drop any Rose Dragon for the white. Gets to summon a lot of monsters, and that can definitely have Uno go for game. Unless Swag has something like a DD Crow to prevent the carrot. It's gonna be Zeta. And a carrot. Now there's the chance for a crow. No chance, no win, no nothing. Despite the very good hand from Swag, Uno somehow, someway just finds a way to follow that up in an insane manner. 4-0. Uno has already more than done his job as a starter. It's at this point how many more wins you can get. And let's not forget, he's still on his first deck. Switcheroo 6-1. A definitive record, if I recall correctly, as far as their performance over the seasons, because I don't think they've ever been like 6-0. They've always made it with like 5-5, 6-4 to playoffs. Just this last season, they've made it as a 5-5 team, and that hasn't happened in a very long time. In season 10, they did not make it to playoffs as a 5-5 team. What about season 9? What do we have in season 9? They have made it as the last wildcard once again, just like in season 11. Skill shot to be the next player. In season 9 it was a 6-4 at least, but still not as dominant. What was dominant was their season 8, but that's what I was looking for. They did finish 7-3 in season 8, but it was 3-3 at one point. Switcheroo just won the last 4 games. That's kind of how it went. Season 7, also 7-3, and just like that, they also went 3-3. Okay, I'm not... Actually, let's also check Season 6 while at it. Why not? 5-5. After starting out 1-5. Damn. And I don't think... Oh, actually, they did play in Season 5. Season 5, 8-2. Holy sh... So they've never been worse than 5-5. And that's gonna also hold true to this day. Because they are 6-1 right now. And they're looking very poised for... another win, perhaps. Skill shot is doing some plays. It did detach the Photon Dragon here, allowing him to follow it up with a Galaxy Knight, which summons the Photon Lord. That's a pretty convoluted play, but you do have the guaranteed follow-up of Photon Lord, and you can float easily with Cypher Blade here. It's gonna be a tough turn to try to overcome if you're Uno. Book is definitely a very good start. Gets rid of the Photon Lord monster effect negation. But what else? You have 4 more cards in hand. Spell of Roses. If you do drop the Rocks Rose, you are pretty much set, but it will be the blue. Adds white though, that tells me that he's got some form of tuner in hand. There we go, he did have the Rocks Rose. The Witch added to the hand. And that just makes ground for the Trishul play. And not only that, adding the Witch, White Rose milling, this is just game. Uno had the combo. Book, number 1. I would say blue as well, number 2. And Rockstrow's number 3. And Basil, number 4. That's a 4-card combo to overcome this kind of situation. A lot of cards interchangeable, to be honest. But still very, how to say it, very luck-based. Still. 5-0 at this point. Pharaohs wondering where it went wrong. In my opinion, like, it's just kind of sacky. A little bit sacky there, especially with those kind of that kind of combos. But thankfully, Skillshot does have, by the looks of things, a pretty good second deck. It will be Mechlords. Take number 3. And Mechlords attempting to stop Rose Dragons. Armies are being deployed. You know how it goes. It's gonna be the Gear Gigant X searching the follow-up. Fortunately, by the looks of things, no Weisel, which definitely very ideal to have. But maybe there's still, you know, you can always assembly and then destroy your own Gear Gigant X. It is kind of a negative in card economy, but you do at least have the negate up. In the first game between Skillshot and Uno, he did go for the convoluted combo, which still ended up getting sacked somehow. It's gonna be up to Skillshot to determine if they want this to happen again or not. Obligato burning for 0 damage, and now back to Uno. MSD to start up the turn. Targets the leftmost card. It's a book. Oh my god. Come on, Uno, you cannot do this to them. Second MST? And drops Rockstrow's? What? Alright. Surely he doesn't have, like, I don't know, a second white in hand, right? I mean, if you do, or rather Basil, if he has Basil in hand, it's a 3 of, oh, he said it. Don't tell me this is another way in which he just black roses and it's just game like that. Skill shot, any crow onto the black rose or the carrot. Anything whatsoever to stop this continuous sacking. Carrot drops the Ruddy. And oh my god. Again! Again! How does he keep doing it? 6-0. He's 6-0 and the game is barely 45 minutes in. I don't know guys, but this is just extremely sad to see. Like, you have to feel for Pharaohs here. Just 2 players remaining. Homo, also known as Medina, and Victor Lee. 6-0 in a matter of 45 minutes. This is insane. You cannot even tell if one team is too good or one team is too bad. It's mostly down to like one team opening okay, but the other team opening much better than okay. Obviously that team is gonna be Switcheroo. Got Misaka, Axe, Soburi, and Uno. 3 of them on today's roster, and one of them, you know, definitely coming up to play. Part of the 100 wins club. Golden Gauntlet, meaning that he has had the most wins in one season. And if you give me one moment, I'm even going to look up which season it was. And as well, 2 times All-Star, back when All-Stars were a thing. Rest in peace. Right, so Uno had 31 wins, no, 36 wins in Season 8, the season where they also won. 24 wins in the regular season, 12 wins in the playoffs. And that's not the only time he went 12 wins in the playoffs, because like we also have Season 11 where they went all the way until the finals, if I recall correctly. I think. I actually don't remember now. Huh. Let me take a quick look once again. No, it was my bad. It was top 4. Yeah, Bricks and Daters was the other one. Regardless, let's move on to what we do have up on the screen. It's gonna be Pombo up against the god himself. Drops the rocks, adds the white. And finally we do see some DD Crow action. Gonna deny that Rockstrow's revival. And surely Uno's gonna... Oh my... No way! He has a second one! He has a second one! I'm just kind of speechless at this point, guys. Well, getting rid of the carrot, that's one thing. Setting 2, that's also another. That's a very scary looking board to face up against. I just want to remind you guys, since most of you are Team Wars players watching, the balance is on. Like, you can only have maximum of 2 Roxros. Having both of them like that, it's kind of wild. Pharaohs starting his turn with the Blaze Man, searching the also semi-limited Liquid Soldier off of the reinforcements of the army. Rhoda for sure. We do have the Poly coming up, resolving successfully for the Sunrise, rising his sun up on the field, also triggering a Liquid Soldier. It doesn't always have to be banished now, can also fuse it from hand or from field. Discarding a Miracle Fusion though. Pretty yikes if you ask me. But well, he does have a second one. Zeta can very well deny one of the Sunrises. As soon as the beta phase starts, it's gonna be the Basil coming up. And no way, he had the Burst Breath too! Oh no! It's gonna be both Sunrises destroyed because they have lower defense than Roxor's Dragon. The perfect 2-card combination between Basil and Burst Reaver to completely end Pombo's turn. And well, you can already tell how this is likely gonna end. I mean, Pombo, if you got that that White Princess, you better pray to God that Uno has no way to lethal through it. Sammy D. And Basil coming up once again. He's gonna go for the Ruddy. Alright. Likely not gonna be banishing, cause... Or he will. And that's just it. Another way in which Uno can completely sack you off. 7-0. Uno. I don't want to jinx it, but there are serious implications for Uno to go 10-0 as a starter in a match where 10-0 can happen. Pombo upon his second deck. Gonna be a kite coming up. Uno going first this time. Oh, balance on the side of Pombo. Could it be Warrocks? Because we don't have a lot of balance decks up in today's metagame, and as we know, it has been making some waves recently. Balance, one of the skills that definitely allows Warrocks to thrive. You don't really care that much about opening a specific trap, but you do care about opening Mountain. It's pretty much a 50-50 chance to open a Mountain, or above 50-50 I should say. And any monster except Meteor Dragon, I guess, can work. Especially if you're going second as well. Sammy D coming up. That's 2 here. One of them surely the Basil. And that's a pass. Let's see from the side of Pombo what the counterplay will be. Wento with the 3 sets. Now we are in the end phase. Sammy D very good against all Warrocks because he does deny all their effects of post damage calc from triggering. Post damage calc is included in the damage step. Sammy D has the effect of up until the end of the damage step. All Warrocks have during damage calc, or rather after damage calc. Canadia denying a possible level 7. There are still grounds for White Rose to special summon self from hand. But nonetheless, one of the crises averted. Basil though chaining to the Canadia, dodging Floodgate this way. Because it is summoned as a chain link too. So if Pombo has another Canadia, now would be a very good time to use it. Would likely not make a whole lot of sense to go for a Black Rose clear, considering Wento does float into Meteoragon. But bottomless, that's gonna get rid of the untargetable HeyZZy. And MST will be clearing the last back row. What's it gonna be? MST actually coming up in clutch here. Keeping it up until the last back row ensures that you do destroy something. In a state like this where Pukamoon really doesn't matter, except I guess you take a few less damage, but there's still one more set from the side of Uno. Now Pombo down to 2 cards only, definitely needs to see the mountain. Speak of it and it shall appear. Mountain right off the top. Surely Uno doesn't have a second MST to deny that search. He does not. Meteoragon alongside Portia, combining their efforts. Now attack order will be mattering. Of course, you want Meteoragon to attack the face down monster first. In order to boost all the attacks up and attack once again. Uno down to just 1 card and the 1 card top deck. Is this gonna be the stop? At long last. No, Summon DD Crow. He has accepted his defeat. He says, you're not gonna win. I'm just gonna defeat myself, in a way. No 10-0. But there could still be grounds, as insane as that sounds, for a 10-1. I did not mean to right click. I meant to spectate. So as soon as I talk of the 10-0, he loses. I just have this power to completely jinx teams and players for some reason. Watch Pombo completely reverse sweep like 10-7. Because I said this, now they're just gonna lose all the other games. So, Switcheroo, you're gonna win the rest of your games. Therefore, anti-jinxing, Pharaohs. Mountain, good start. Fordia, as well. It is a searcher after all. Two sets to supplement, and Uno bringing in his second rocks, his second Rose Dragon deck. Sends rocks, adds rocks. White Rose. Are we gonna see something like a bottomless upon this Rockstars? Yes, we will. But Basil, chaining to it, interestingly enough. It's gonna be another Rockstars, oh my god. Uno, he's always starting with Rockstars. Always. Actually, never mind. I wanna correct myself, he did start with sending Rockstars to add Rockstars. Obviously, this time around at least, preventing me from going more insane. Or how many Rockstars he has. This is his second deck. His first deck did contain those burst rebirths. And D Crows, MSTs. Here's to see this one, how it looks like. Dignity, it's gonna negate the Black Rose, and because it is in defense position, Fortia can very easily swing over it, and Meteor Dragon as well. Not like I guess you would have really wanted to kill or attempt to kill Fortia. But that's just gonna be a free swing for Fortia, you know what I mean? Oh, or Meteor Dragon is gonna do the job instead. Another mountain surged. Rockstars there floating, or rather recurring itself back to the hand. Meteor Dragon, once again another attack boost, 21 to the face, and now it is the end phase. We're gonna see the Basil, if Uno does have that. Not for now. MST off the top. Gonna get rid of the Floodgate. Pretty good hit there. Now he's got free range to like do anything pretty much. It was a Basil face down. Rockstars likely gonna search for another Basil in order to revive the Black Rose that's gonna come up in a bit. Ooh, or is he? True Shell Zero will definitely get rid of the monsters and the mountain, but he needs to have opened the Ruddy Witch as well. And he did have it. So once again, wiping out the game in style. 8-1 for Uno. And Switcheroo by extension. Down to the very last player. You know who it is. Everyone knows who it is. The one who said that he's gonna show no mercy towards Switcheroo. No mercy indeed. Gonna be waiting for Victor Lee to enter the room, which I think he just did. And finally, the matchup of the ages. Uno, Victor Lee. Let's go. Coming up as the first game with the mirror. Victor Lee also very nicely repping the Divine Neos Madden sleeve combination. Uno setting just one. Is this gonna be the end? I'm already thinking about it. If Victor Lee has MST in his deck, or a Lance in case the back row is already activated. You know, I'm just gonna let it play out. Let's check it out. Roxrose normal summoned. As the blue, Victor Lee do be feeling blue. Basil, following it up for a possible level 7 synchro. What's it gonna be? Because HeyZZy in this kind of a setup, where if you are allowed to just make the synchro, could be looking spicy. Just definitely thinking about this possible synchro summon finally happening. MED coming up. Compose. Getting rid of Sandy. And just like that, Victor Lee's gonna end his turn. And now back to Uno. He has not used his skill in the first turn, so he needs to hope for a Rose Dragon top deck. And that top deck is probably the worst top deck you could think of. Carrot. Actually, I guess Witch is kind of worse. But this attack will be going through. In Victor Lee's end phase, Basil will be activated. Special summon the Roxrose, which will search another Basil. Oh, but not if Dirigro is activated. Well, now Victor Lee has to special summon either the White Rose from the grave or the Blue Rose from the hand. Likely the White Rose from the grave. You do want to keep the Blue Rose as fodder in hand. Drops the blue, as mentioned just a moment ago, as the second rocks. Finally, normal summons it. Now, He did add Basil. There's grounds for a Black Rose wipeout, but it's just a carrot, you know? Uno really doesn't have a lot to work with right now. Oh, and there's also the White Rose from the hand, special summoning itself. So that's gonna be the Trishul 0 to come up and banish just the carrot. Currently, like, the only threat. And, well, the White Rose didn't mill anything. Because, it did have to special summon itself from the hand. That means no lethal play. But Uno finally gets something. A Rose Dragon. Maybe a little bit too late. But we'll see. Rose. Gonna likely be adding the Basil if it can, but Floodgate is gonna stop that from happening. The Synchro Summon from happening. I think if you're Uno, I think you are pretty okay with this though. That's one body on the field that you'll likely just revive with Basil if you have the chance to do so. Adding blue, which is pretty good. It is guaranteed follow-up. But one set only. Can be pretty scary. Now back to Victor Lee. Summons the carrot from the hand, so even if it didn't special summon the White Rose back then, it would have still not have been game. Attacks. Now Trish attacking and Basil. Well, at this point, this is just game by the virtue of Roxrose attacking. So Uno finally knocked out by the man himself, Victor Lee. 8-2 the scoreline. Still not looking any good by any means for Pharaohs. But at long last, he is eliminated. Uno, that is. Is likely saving some replays. Actually, I want to check. Can I check? No. Sad. Damn. Uno is gold 5. And Victor Lee's gold 2. Battle of Golds, like quite literally, both from their icon and from their in-game rank. Keeping Victor Lee in the back, yeah. I mean, his victory, after all. He's gonna lead Pharaohs to salvation. 8-1 scoreline? No, that's gonna be a 10-0, a 10-8 in his favor, going 10-0. Let's see. Misaka up next. And we will be starting this one. Victor Lee now on the bottom, with Misaka up on the top. Mech Lords being sent into Rose Dragon. 26 cards though, Something that was different from the other mechlars that we have seen from Swag and Skillshot. Both were repping 30 cards each in the 3 matches that we have seen them. Victor Lee going first as well, which is kind of what you want, I suppose, in this kind of a matchup. You don't want to let mechlars set up successfully. Rocks Rose added to the hand by dropping the blue. Likely here we're just gonna be seeing the subsequent normal summon of Rose Dragon that is the Rocks variety. And I don't know, search Basil, make a Zeta maybe? Depends. It's pretty much down to how your hand looks, because you don't really want to make a Synchro Summon for Weasel to absorb. Basil to be activated. What Synchro will it be? Likely HeyZZy if I had to guess. Or Zeta. Zeta pass! Alright. That's gonna be pretty scary if Misaka has Weasel set up ready. It won't be immediately gained because Weasel has to be in defense position. But that's one absorption coming up with more possibilities. Come on, guys. Misaka, you got this. There are a lot of playing fast from Uno. We are back to the usual teamwork action that we are very used with. Players, you know, assessing all their options, taking it slow. I'm gonna be seeing Grenell, Weasel armies. And the Gear Gigant X likely, or Ouroboros, I guess. Interesting. In attack position as well. I suppose Misaka wanted Victor Lee to use the Zeta effect in order to go for a Triskelion. Assembly likely adding Triskelion, and due to the fact there's no delay, I guess we can call this game over, because that Triskelion is gonna be huge. Only White Princess can really stop this at this point. Mechlur Refinement, guess setting up for the next turn, getting that second skill activation. Triskelion, I mean, is not gonna be the case here. 57 to the face. And that's a 9-2 scoreline. Match point for Switcheroo. No, Misaka didn't lose a deck. It was Victor Lee who lost. Victor Lee immediately back onto the table just as I switch the scenes. And it's gonna be Kite up against Aporia. Likely the first time we have not seen a Rose Dragon involved in the mix between the two players. New meta? Question mark? The Divine Mana Sleep combination once again, but this time Misaka going first. Has the assembly. adds the boon here. Setting it up for the draw 2 by getting out the armies out of the way. Imagine he just draws in 2 more armies. That would be pretty unfortunate, but how far the Switcheroo hands have went, surely it's not gonna be the case. Gear Gigan X will be offering the necessary follow-up for the Mechlers to thrive. HeyZZy added to the hand. Curious to see if assembly will activate its effect, and I mean, who am I even asking at this point? Obviously it's gonna activate its effect. You're facing off against what could be Galaxy, because we have not seen balance activated at the beginning of the duel. Unlike in Pombo's match where he was playing with Kite, but he did have balance. HeyZZy, it's gonna stop something alongside that other back row. So let's see how this goes. Victor Lee on the Galaxies. And the Photons. D Fisher activated. Okay. Fortunately, the skill related monsters that are milled are, you know, still gonna be sent to the grave, but that's something you don't see often at all. And oh, that treacherous trap hole. Damn. Banish. Oh. Now that the feature hurts. Now that the feature hurts. And it doesn't hurt Misaka. It hurts Victor Lee. HeyZZy, the only one able to attack, so... Well, unless you destroy your own HeyZZy. Assembly gonna get rid of the both effects of assembly were activated. Kinda nuts, but Triskelion coming up. And that's a direct attack. Is it gonna be game? It will be game. 7,500 to the face. Farmed, as we would say. And Misaka with Uno combined take the win. 8-2 and 2-0 respectively. Completely eradicating Pharaohs. Into 2, I would love to have an interview, but late in Japan. And I'm sure the players wanna go and sleep. 1 minute and 26. 1 hour and 26. We have comments from Victory as well. LMAO, lucky. Just lucky. Exclamation mark. It is what it is. You can argue all you want on how lucky or not hands from Switcheroo or Pharaohs for that matter were, but yeah, 7-1 for Switcheroo, pretty much guaranteed playoffs at this point. And yeah, I guess that's kind of it with this match, because there's not much else to say. I'm just gonna do this prediction because Hans Andres, yeah, you're the only guy that voted for like Pharaohs, and that was just 10 points. So I'm just gonna delete it because, you know, betting against nothing, like, you would just lose points no matter what, and no one would gain them. So I'm just gonna leave it as that, and I'm gonna be looking for someone to host. ZDH or Gaiba? I'm actually gonna do ZDH a favor, because it's been a while since he's streamed a Teamers game, so I'm just gonna leave you in his hands. Thank you for watching this very quick game, and I was HeyZZy. These were Switcheroo and Pharaohs. Switcheroo likely guaranteed, I mean extremely likely guaranteed playoffs. And that's it. See you guys around. I'm gonna leave you with I think it was Squirtle Squad and Stealth Trace.